All right, today we're diving into something huge happening in Ghana's legal world. We're talking about a landmark reform that could totally reshape how lawyers get made in the country.
So, picture this. You've poured years into studying law, you finally graduated, you're all set to kick off your career, but you just can't. You hit a wall. And this isn't some hypothetical. It's the real story for hundreds and hundreds of qualified graduates in Ghana every single year. They're just stopped.
So the big question is, why? I mean, what's actually stopping them from becoming lawyers? Well, the answer points to a system that, let's be honest, many people say has been broken for a very, very long time.
Okay, so before we get to the solution that's on the table, we really have to get our heads around the problem. And the best way to think about it is as a massive, frustrating bottleneck.
You see, for decades, basically as long as anyone can remember, the path to becoming a lawyer in Ghana has run through this one single narrow gate, the Ghana School of Law. That's it. They've had a complete monopoly on that final, crucial stage of professional legal training.
And this is exactly where the whole system just couldn't keep up anymore. Think about it. Since around the year 2000, the number of universities pumping out law graduates just exploded. But the Ghana School of Law, its capacity to actually accept those graduates has pretty much stayed the same. So you've got this flood of qualified people all trying to squeeze through a gate that just isn't getting any wider.
And that brings us to the proposed fix. It's a huge piece of legislation known as the Legal Education Reform Bill, 2025. And you know, the bill itself is incredibly blunt about the problem. I mean, listen to this quote from its own memorandum. The model of professional legal education has demonstrably moved out of tune with the realities of modern Ghana. It's basically saying, hey, the old way just doesn't work anymore.
So what's the core idea here? It's simple, really. Dismantle that monopoly. Break it up. The plan is to move away from one single central school and instead decentralize legal training, spreading it out all across the country.
Okay, so what does that actually look like in practice? Let's break down how this new decentralized system is supposed to work.
The new path for aspiring lawyers is laid out in 4 clear steps. Step 1. Universities can get accredited to run a brand new law practice training course. So Step 2, students get to complete this hands-on training right at their own university. After that, Step 3, graduates will have to pass a new national bar examination. And if you pass that, Step 4, you're admitted to the bar and you can finally practice law.
And this isn't just a logistical change, it's a huge shift in teaching philosophy. The whole curriculum is going to be built around something called clinical legal education. So instead of being all about dusty textbooks and theory, the focus is on the practical, real-world skills lawyers actually use every day. We're talking about things like drafting contracts, arguing a case, and actually advising clients.
Now you might be thinking, if you spread everything out, how do you make sure the quality stays high everywhere? You're right. You need a strong central authority to maintain standards. So who's the new gatekeeper in this system?
Well, under this new bill, the oversight job is getting handed off. The responsibilities of the old General Legal Counsel are moving to a brand new body, the Council for Legal Education and Training.
And this new council is going to have its hands full. We're talking some pretty big responsibilities. They'll be the ones granting licenses to universities, setting the educational standards for everyone, and supervising the quality of the training to make sure it's up to snuff. They'll even create an appeals tribunal, which adds a layer of fairness to the whole process.
And just to show you how serious they are about these new standards, get this, if any institution tries to offer this kind of legal training without getting the proper accreditation, the people in charge could face up to 20 years in prison. Yeah, the stakes are incredibly high.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. Let's put it all together and really look at what this new vision means when you stack it up side by side with the old system. I mean, the changes are massive. You're going from a single monopoly provider, the Ghana School of Law, to many different accredited universities. The oversight is shifting from the General Legal Counsel to a new, dedicated Council for Legal Education. The focus of the curriculum is moving from purely theoretical to practical clinical skills. And that final hurdle? It's no longer the GSL entrance exam. It's a new national bar examination for everyone. This isn't just tweaking things. It is a complete overhaul.
And to put that in perspective, this is not just some minor adjustment. This reform is being called the single most significant change to Ghana's legal training system since the country's independence. That's a huge statement. So, all of this leaves us with one massive, lingering question, doesn't it?
Will this move to decentralize education actually create a stronger, more accessible legal profession for Ghana? The answer to that question is going to shape the very future of justice in the country for decades to come. A lot is riding on this.